Hello guys and welcome to Salesforce Drillers. Now in this session we will have a look on basic Linux commands that a DevOps should know. Not only a DevOps but these are the basic Linux commands, so if you are working on Linux then you should have knowledge on these commands. So let us start. So suppose that you have freshly logged into an instance and you want to update your repository, your server repository. So in that case you have to write sudo apt update, where sudo means super user do, and after update, as you can see, I have put a flag which says -y, which means yes. Now if I'll press enter, then I do not need to provide the yes input further. So we can see as it is updated. So where sudo means super user do. Now if you want to add a user into a particular server other than the Ubuntu user, so for that you can just simply add a command which says sudo user add, then the username which is Salesforce Drillers in our case, then -m-s. What this -m-s will do, this will create a directory for this user. For example, right now if I'll do pwd, then pwd, which means present working directory, so it will show the directory with home/home/ubuntu. So if I will be adding user add sudo Salesforce Drillers along with -m-s flag, so they will create a directory for this particular user. Now if you want, then you can associate password to a newly created user. So for assigning password to a user, the command is sudo passwd, which is password, then the username for which you want to allocate the password, and then you can enter the password. So if I'll show you, let us switch to the user which says sudo su Salesforce Drillers. So we can see now Salesforce Drillers users have been added. Now if I'll do pwd over here, so it will show me the directory which says home/Salesforce Drillers. And if you want to switch to another user, then you can do write sudo su username, or simply you can do exit, then you will be switched to the previous user. So as we have switched to the Ubuntu user. So now let us try another command. Let us do ls. So what ls will do, ls will list the contents in your particular server, and ls-al means all, which will show all the files here including the hidden files. So what do you mean by hidden files? The files names which are starting with dot are the hidden files. Now let us try to create a directory. So for creating a directory, there is a command mkdir, which means make directory. Its syntax is mkdir, then Salesforce Drillers. Now if I'll do ls over here to list, so I will be seeing this particular directory. So here it is. Now let us change to this particular directory. To change to a directory, just simply write cd, which means change directory, then the directory name. So as we can see, we have now switched to the Salesforce Drillers. So now here, if you want, then we can create some files. To create a files, there are various options. One of them is like touch command. If I'll do touch, then drillers.txt. If I'll do ls, so we can see drillers.txt command has been created. I can say a text file has been created. Now let us try to enter some text into this text file. So there are various ways. You can use any editor and you can use echo command too. For example, let us see. Let us do it first of all. Let us do it with echo. So this says echo, then some text like hello. Then we will put the redirectional operator, then the file name. So as we can see, now let us try to cat this particular file. Cat means concatenation. It will display the contents. If I'll do cat, then file name over here. So I will see the contents that are inside this particular file. It is hello that we have just entered using echo command. Now let us try to do modification in this particular text file using an editor which says vim. So we'll be using vim. So vim, then the file name. So as we can see, hello was there, which we have entered using echo command. And for inserting the data in vim, just press I. Now you will be switched to the insert mode. Now just enter the data whatever you want. like this is Salesforce drillers. Now for exiting from Vim, press escape, then colon, then WQ, means right quit. So now if I'll show you by concatenating this command, so cat drillers.txt, so we will see all of the contents. So guys, Vim is not pre-installed in your system. In some systems it is installed, and if it is not installed, then you can just install it by using sudo apt install Vim. So let us try to install some packages. Suppose let us try to install Apache 2. So we will write sudo apt install, then the package name, which is Apache 2. As we can see, it has started installing. So that is how you can install packages in Linux. Now let us try to change owner of a particular file. For example, if I show you that we have added a file drillers.txt in our Salesforce drillers directory. So if I'll show you the owner of this file, you can do ll, or you can also do ls-al. So if I'll show you the owner of this file, right now it is Ubuntu. So now let us change the owner of this particular file. So to change the owner of a file, there is a command which says sudo change owner, then the username. So our username was that we have created is Salesforce drillers, then the file name, which is drillers.txt. Now if I'll show you, so we can see the owner has been changed from Ubuntu to Salesforce drillers. So that is how you can switch, or I can say you can change the user. So there is one more thing if I'll show you, which is a very essential, and is a very useful command, which is ssh-keygen. So guys, SSH key are just the identity of a server. So by default, we do not have any SSH key generated into our server. To create an SSH, to generate an SSH key, you have to just simply execute a command which says ssh-keygen. If I'll press enter, so it will generate a /id_rsl public key. So if I'll show you in the .ssh directory, so here are the files that are generated. This is the public key and this is the private key. So this is how we can generate SSH key. Now let us use another command, which is grep command. Grep command is used to find out the selective pattern from a particular file. For example, in Salesforce driller, there is a file drillers.txt. Suppose I need to find a pattern. Suppose that I need to find Salesforce in this particular txt file, that wherever Salesforce is written in this particular file, display me the Salesforce drillers. So for that, I will first concatenate this file, which says cat, then the file name, then pipe, then grep, then the pattern name. So in this demo case, the pattern name is Salesforce drillers, which means wherever Salesforce drillers will be written in this file, it will display us. So only at one place Salesforce drillers is written, which is being shown in the red color, as you can see. Here it is. So that is how we can use the grep pattern. Now let us try to do wget. So guys, what is wget? Wget is used to install any package in Linux. Suppose there is a tar file that you want to download and is available on the internet. So in that case, you can just simply write wget and then the URL package over here, whatever is the URL of that particular package. So that is how we can use wget. For example, if I show you, let us refer to the Salesforce drillers websites, and if I'll show you here, now suppose that I need to install a package which is Helm, that I need to install Helm. So in this Helm, if I'll switch to the installation, if you guys want to know about Helm, then please refer to the Helm video series. It is covered here very nicely. So if I'll go to the installation section, so if I'll copy this particular command, so as we can see, after wget there is a URL of the particular package, or I can say of the particular tar file. So if I'll press enter over here and I'll do ls, then I can see a tar file has been downloaded. To untar a file in Linux, you can write tar hyphen zxf, then the file name. That is how you can untar a particular file. As we can see, it is here. Now let us try to use two commands, which is copy and move. So as we can see, we have created a file drillers over here. So let us copy this file from here to the home directory. So for that we will use copy, then the file name, then the location, I can say the destination where we want. Suppose I want this particular file to be moved one directory back, so in that case I'll use dot dot then slash, which means on the previous directory. Now if I'll press enter, and if I'll show you by moving to a previous directory, and if I'll do ls over here, so we can see that drillers.txt file has been copied here. Now let us have a look on the move file. Now suppose that I want to move this particular file to this particular directory which says linux-amd64. So in that case I'll use move, then file name, then the directory, or I can say the destination name. So if I'll show you by listing down the contents of linux.amd64, so we can see drillers.txt has been moved to this particular directory. So that is how we can move a file from one place to another. So for removing a file, there is a simple command. Suppose that I want to remove this particular file from this directory. So first of all, I will switch to that particular directory. Then I will write rm, means remove, then that particular file name, then I'll press enter. So if I'll do ls, so we can see that particular file has been moved from here. So if you want to remove a whole directory, so in that case just simply write rm -r means recursive, then the directory name, which is Salesforce drillers, and then I'll press enter. So yes, I want to remove this file. If I'll do ls, so we can see Salesforce drillers file has been, Salesforce driller directory has been completely moved from here. Now let us try to use tail command. So guys, tail command in Linux is used for I can say for viewing the logs. Generally DevOps use this command for viewing their application logs. So there's its syntax is tail -f, where f stands for follow, then the log path. Suppose the log path is where log, and in the log there's a file. Let us try to have a look on this auth.log. So we'll write the file name over here. Now let us press enter. So as we can see, these are the logs of our server. So in that case, in this we have used tail -f, where f stands for follow and the path of the log file. So that is how we can view logs of a particular file, or I can say a particular server. So now let us have a look on the other commands that are mentioned in Salesforce drillers websites. Touch we have done, echo we have done, vim we have done, sudo we have covered, change owner we have covered, history. So guys, history is a command which shows us that how many, or I can say what commands have been run on the particular server throughout. So suppose that I want to have a look on the previous commands that are run on this particular server. So in that case I will use history. So it will show me all the commands that are run on this particular server from starting, as we can see. So that is what the use of history. So there is one more command, htop, which is used to check the load average on the system. So guys, htop is not by default installed, so you can install it by using sudo apt install htop. So now for checking the load average, we can simply write htop. So it will show us the load average and how much memory is there in our server. As we can see, it has shown us all the things. Right now the load average is 0, means no load is there on the server. So that is how we can check the load average on our server. So this is the command. Now let us suppose you want to check date, that what is the date on the server. So that you can simply write date, so it will display the date. So that is how the Linux commands for DevOps work. So if you are DevOps, then you should have your knowledge about these commands. Now let us have a look on few more commands. Like you want to copy a file from your local to your server. So in that case, suppose I need to copy this demo.yml to my this server. So in that case, what I will do, I will use SCP. SCP stands for secure copy. So what is the syntax for copying a command? Copy, then the file name, and then the destination. So same is here, like SCP hyphen I, then the then your PEM file path. So in that case, in my case, it is desktop keys, and then the file name that you want to copy. Suppose I want to copy this demo.yml, then the server name along with the IP of the particular server. So let us copy the IP of our EC2 instance. So this is the IP, then colon, then on which path you want to copy this file. Suppose I want to copy this file to my home directory, so I'll simply use tilde, then I'll press enter. So now what will happen? Now this demo.yml file will be copied to my EC2 instance. So as we can see, it has copied. Now let us do ls here. So we can see the demo.yml over here. So that is how we can use SCP. So these are the commands that our DevOps should know. So if you remember, let us have a look on one more concept. So when we try to switch to the user for Salesforce dealers, and now let us try to execute a command with the sudo privileges, which is like sudo apt update. So it will ask for the password. So here you can enter the password that you have set for this particular user. Okay, now if you want, then you can just simply make changes to your sudo's files by using sudo vi sudo. Now here, as you can see, you can mention the username over here, so that it will not ask for the password like Salesforce drillers all equals to all, means all the rights privileges to be for the sudo user. So now if you will be doing commands with sudo, so it will not ask for the password. So this is a very important concept, or I can say very useful concept, that is used by the DevOps for avoiding using the password on the server. So that is how these are the commands that a DevOps should know. So I hope these commands have been clear. If you have any queries, or I can say if you want to know about these commands in details, then you can refer to the Salesforce dealers, the Linux command for DevOps. All the commands are mentioned here with very nice configuration, with very nice screenshots. So if you want to check the IP of the server, so there is also a command which says ifconfig. So if I'll press enter, so it will show me the IP address and all the things. So that is how you can see it very carefully. Is 172.30.150.199. Similarly here 172.30.150.199. So that is how you can view the IP address. So I hope these commands have been clear to you guys. So thank you, and please refer to the Salesforce dealers websites for getting much details about these commands.